Aloha, beautiful Women Unleashed Creative Ohana. You are here for a special edition, special session of Creativity Meets Money. Ah! Okay, so I'm super pumped up about this. Can you tell? I've been talking to you, I've been hearing comments, and I hear the same comments from creative sisters. And I was like, okay, I need to do something for my people, especially around money, around that starving artist thing that we get going in our heads, especially around that feeling that your art isn't valuable, whatever you have to share with the world isn't valuable, that money isn't spiritual. I mean, there's all sorts of things that we're doing and that we're giving away our gifts, our services, our talents for free. And I'm like, enough. I'm taking a stand for the artist. And I brought on someone who I thought like, okay, this person, like she's helped me. I actually pay her a lot of money in order to like continue helping me to like do this because she's amazing. So I want to share with you just a little bit about who I brought on, my business coach, Shanda Sumpter. So Shanda, first give us a wave.
Hi!
She's like a kid over there. I've got my Wonder Woman cup today because that's how amazing this conversation is going to be.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, yes, ladies. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about Shanda. She is a mom. She is a straight shooter. She's built her business to multiple 7 figures. What I love about Shanda is she has heart, but she's also super strategic. I've been with her for 3.5 years. Like, this is how much I love her. And she's really brought my business from like nothing, like seriously nothing, you know, to, or like, maybe I had like a couple workshops and like my mailing list was like 200 of my closest friends, you know, or family that just felt bad for me.
Typical artist.
But then, you know, from this point now where, you know, I've made 6 figures in my business, I am now have tens of thousands of followers, and it's all because of the strategy and from really the heart too that Shanda really gives. So Shanda, welcome.
My cheeks are sore from already being here. I've been smiling so much.
Well, you know, I'm really excited. We don't have much time, so we're like gonna just hop in, people. So we're gonna grab your creative stuff so you can take notes like the way we always do. And just know that like Shannon and I were both like committed to this being a call, this being a video that shifts something for you, that like we're all about shifting something for you today so that you can really just kind of change the way that you look at money, the way that you work with money, the way you bring it in, the way you invite it in. So are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready to start to serve. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so let's start with, I hear this all the time.
Can I share a little nugget about you for a second?
Okay.
So Amber comes to our masterminds, and we're actually going to co-create a mastermind in Hawaii this year for our group of clients. And the reason why we're doing it is because creativity and art is such an insanely powerful way of accessing the deepest version of you to be able to make the biggest impact in the world. And the impact, the amount of impact you make equals the amount of money that you make. And so I find just working with just straight entrepreneurs that don't have the artistic side, I know you'll argue with me about artistic side because we all have creative ability to access creativity, but most of us don't know how to do it. And so, you know, what I love about Amber is she influences everybody as she comes to the masterminds because she's always drawing the notes and painting these amazing books of, you know, of our studies. And so I just want to honor you for being uniquely you and for not apologizing and not selling out on yourself to make 6 figures, trying to do it some way that was inauthentic to you. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, you know, we could make 6 figures and be super boring, but artists, we just gotta like create it up, sparkle it up.
Yeah, totally.
Let's start off with the idea of selling, and that I see this all the time, and this was actually something that I struggled with for a while, the whole idea that sales is a dirty word, that it's like icky, that we're doing something wrong, we're taking advantage of people, like all that stuff. And I see, especially because women, you know, if they're doing it for their passion, then they somehow feel like doing something for their passion and selling is like, it's out of alignment.
Yeah.
Help the people, Shanda.
Yeah, so it's not, I have a hard time with this. So first of all, I'm really spiritual. I have read A Course in Miracles. I studied it for 3 years religiously. Literally, I gave up meat, I gave up alcohol, I gave up sugar, caffeine, all of that, and to not change my vibration, to be completely in alignment with spirit. I have worked with shamans. So my point in sharing this with you is I am deeply spiritual. And today I'm actually now like reading the Bible cover to cover, right? And so I totally understand, the artist mindset and the spiritual mindset and the entrepreneur mindset. And the thing is that triage coming together is the perfect blend of making a difference. But if you're not making money, you're really running a nonprofit. And so if you wanted to create art, if you wanted to create a movement in the world, if you wanted to build a business, whether it's as an artist or an entrepreneur or as a writer or whatever it is, if you set out to make a huge difference in the world, part of that is you get to receive. And so money is service. It just is. Don't allow yourself to get caught in the drift of the normal people who are broke. If you want to talk about generosity, which is something that I love and talk about constantly, generosity, you get more generous the more money you have. Like I just tied $10,000 to Joel Osteen the other day, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago or something. And I've never met Joel Osteen, ever, but every time I turn on my radio, he spiritually feeds me. He creates like an opening for me where I go out in the world and I do bigger, better things because I'm so committed to serving more. And so when I was broke, I couldn't do things like that. And then I'm partners with the church or any other organizations, human trafficking. I'm partnered, even by clients. I have a client who just gave birth. She's the main income provider in her family. I was able to say, don't pay me coaching fees for a couple months. That's cool stuff, to be able to do that. So generosity, like if you won't make money for yourself, make money to help the people around you, because we all get to have a break and money tends to just make things better. It just does. So
I love that. If you won't do it for you, do it for the people that you care. Make money for people that you care about. I love that.
Yeah, totally. Today I get to take care of my dad, who's a lot older. My dad went from multiple millions to nothing, and to be able to take care of him and not worry about that, that's a blessing. I mean, how many kids get to the point where their parents are getting older and they can't afford homes if they need to go into homes, or they bring them into their home and they can't afford extra help or care. And now the marriages start getting stressed out because they can't, like everybody's trying, like it's like the time you thought you were going to be able to spend with your family, you're spending now taking care of your parents and changing their diapers. And I mean that from a compassionate place. It's like, it just really is important. It really is important. It makes life easier.
I totally get it. Yes, I'm like 100% behind you. It really, for me, when I decided that I wanted to start making money and that it wasn't such a dirty word for me, it was like, wow, I started making massive impact. And what's cool about what I do make money is, like you said, I'm able to help so many other people. It's like I have like my clients that I work with, and then I'm able to help like tens and tens of thousands of other people because, I mean, that's like my give, right? So there's that balance.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. It's not it's a dirty word for people who don't have it.
I told you, Shanda speaks straight. She's a straight shooter. She's just telling it as it is. Yeah.
Well, it is. You just got to think about that for a second. There was a point in my business that I didn't want to put my name on anything because I said I don't want a celebrity brand. I want a business that makes a difference behind the scenes. And really what it was is I was afraid of being in front of the scenes, right? So whatever we resist, there's a reason why we're resisting it. Spirituality would tell you that's the door you should walk into. And then we preach that stuff. And then half the world like totally ignores what they're preaching. So if you actually just did it, then the cool thing is things would just start to connect and work. So Money is not a bad thing. It's an amazing thing. Especially if you're a good person, it'll make you more of that person. It's like a magnifying glass. It makes you bigger. And as you get bigger, you can help more people, right? But if you're stingy or you're selfish, then don't go make more money, because you'll be more of that.
Very good. True, true. All right, let's moving on. Let's look. I want to think a little bit. We're still talking about money, but I hear from many women who are part of our community. They might be wanting to do workshops. They might be wanting to get their book out there. They might be wanting to be selling their artwork, and they're looking for clients. They're looking for customers. It's like they're constantly looking for people, and it feels like such a struggle for them. So what do you have for them? What's your tidbit for them?
For finding people to sell to, is that what you're saying? Like finding ideal client bases or getting your book out there?
People, they can't fill their workshops. Like that's a struggle. They can't fill their workshops. They can't find their clients. They can't find people to buy their artwork. Yeah,
so it all comes down to your audience. So remember, like Brene Brown, I love Brene Brown. You know, if you don't know who she is, she has written a lot about vulnerability. She's got one of the best TED Talks out there. Traffic, she has a ton of traffic. Now, I think a lot of times when somebody wants to create workshops and things like that, they do it the hard way. They do it like the word of mouth. They do it creating like flyers and putting it around the community. And the challenge is that sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, or you get a much smaller number than what you're used to. So if you wanted to compound every year, and I don't want to get too logistical on this, but put it this way: if you want to launch a book, if you want to fill a workshop, if you want to help more people, and the receiving part of that for you is you're going to make more money, then really you have to build an audience. It's what I taught you, Amber. It's what I teach people all the time. Right now, you know, my PR company is just being bombarded by different editorials that are asking me to write editorials around, different magazines are asking me to write editorials around why I believe that building a business backwards is the way to do it. And the reason why, what we mean by that, is I believe you build the audience first and then you build the product, right? So now I do know some people have built the product already and they've been working it, but I'm telling you, when you build an audience and you ask the audience about what they want around whatever topic or service or transformation you're offering, whether it's art classes, whether it's writing classes, whether it's coaching, whether it's retail, and you've got a really great like clothing line you want to get out into the world and create a movement with it. You know, if you build the audience first and then you ask the audience what they value in that topic, you can tweak the product, workshop, book to serve people. So at the end of the day, I think especially in your audience, Amber, when you have, your audience is going to be looking to make the biggest difference. Just because that's who you are. You're super connected, spiritual, you know, but you also had a point in time where you were like, you know what, this is beating me up emotionally. It's beating my health up, right? And so you're going to walk through your personal transformation goals no matter what way and formula you put your business together. But if you want an easier way of putting it together, you build the audience first, you communicate with the audience on a regular basis. When I say audience, I actually recommend like an email list. An email list, and an email list, you know, of much more over 5,000 people, right? And so when I speak at many audiences or many events, and I ask, how many people, these are all entrepreneurs, how many people, I'm about to speak for 10,000 people this weekend, how many people in this audience have a database or an email list? And like tons of people raise their hand. And I'll say, how many people, keep your hands up if you have an email list of over 5,000. Almost everybody puts their hands down. And then you wonder why you're struggling. You wonder, like, you could go to event after event after event and read every book. I have a whole wall case of books. You can read them all and you can meditate like crazy and go, how come I get this spiritual download to do something, call somebody, write something, and then I get a hit? Well, if you had an audience and you took those connections of creativity and put it out to an audience, you'd have an explosion. An explosion, right? So it just makes everything connect together so much easier. So I'm on a massive mission to short circuit the way that people are building businesses so that they build businesses backwards, where they build the audience first, and then let's get back into service, people. You know, let's just get back into service. What do you want? Email list, around this topic. Great, you want that? Perfect. And you want this and I don't deliver it? Let me go out and find a partner that does deliver that so I can email you about their offers and I'll take a percentage of that too.
Yeah. Awesome. And I think that you bring up an interesting point about entrepreneurship. There's something, especially ladies, creatives, it's like kind of like, business, it's going to be kind of like sales, a bit of a dirty word, right? It's like, that thing. But I find if we are going to fill our workshops, if we are going to make a difference, we have to enter into the world of entrepreneurship. And because I see many times the idea of, I'm going to do a workshop, but it's exhausting doing workshop after workshop, like weekend after weekend. And then you have to go right back to it and get your workshop flyers out there again. And so there's looking at the entrepreneurship, a different model, different strategy to see like how can you have like consistent reoccurring income. I know that's part of what you teach. Maybe you could share briefly.
Yeah. So, well, first and foremost, Amber, I don't know if people know this, but I was shocked the other day. I was with some peers and somebody was showing me a video and like Tesla has no more people working in Tesla. Everything's being automated. And what's scary about that is unless you learn how to think entrepreneurial, stop thinking I'm not an entrepreneur or I am an entrepreneur. It's just a thinking process, right? So you want to think like you want to think entrepreneurial and you want to build your audiences and you want to learn how to sell to your audiences so that you're not in the rat race of refilling programs, products, services, workshops. You want to get out of the sales game on a regular basis. You want to be in the offering game. You want to be in the service game and you want to be in the reoccurring income game, right? So the reorder business, which means you have to deliver great products. So there's not going to be jobs for the millennials in 6 to 7 years. All of us moms who have kids, that's scary. That's scary. Like the streets, and I don't want to bring up fear, but it's like, we'll adapt because we always do. There's parts of the world right now that it's not safe on the streets. Greece has got some problems, Brazil, you know what I mean? Because there's no jobs. So right now, if you don't think, this is all a thinking game. That's it. It's just tweaking the way you think a little bit can actually have, a tipping effect that not only takes care of you financially, but it takes care of the world as well. So, you want to be in the cash flow business. You want to have cash flow going. You want to think entrepreneurial. So building audiences and offering like programs, like you're an artist, like how are some of the ways that you offer programs? You can also fill your retreats by sending out emails. Do you know what I mean? Doing videos. And it's a very different way of being able to fill versus sending out flyers that you can't track. You can now see through your email list, was this something they liked or didn't like? Oh, no, they didn't. That's an easy tweak. Just change the approach. Versus flyers, you're away from your kids, you're away from your husband. It's antiquated. Not saying it doesn't work. It's just antiquated. It's hard work. Why do it hard?
Why do it hard? Yes. Now, I know that
at home.
What?
We want to be with our babies at home.
We do want to be with our babies, but my babies aren't babies anymore. They're like giant men folk that are fish. They're like 10, 8, and 11. But my 11-year-old's getting like here. So I wanted to go ahead, and I know that I'm flying out to California in like a couple months to like see you. And we were talking, and I thought, okay, what could we do to like bring some other people along? Yeah. So I wondered if you could share a little bit about your event, kind of what you're doing, and then we can like invite some people.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So first and foremost, Amber and I were talking about this, and we thought it would be something that would be valuable for anybody who's doing it the hard way to stop doing it the hard way. So what Amber's talking about is she's coming to the Zone event. She comes to it every year. And this year, the theme is about faith. And it's so funny how God, the universe, the creator, sets this whole thing up. It's not about faith from the standpoint of religion, although I have nothing against that. I'm obviously reading the Bible right now. But the vision got passed down to me because I was thinking, entrepreneurs climb this hill. Artists climb this hill. I was in Laguna Beach this past weekend, and there's art galleries everywhere. They climb this hill, and only a percentage make it where they have these amazing art galleries in Laguna Beach where there's tons of people coming through and buying, $20,000 prints. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not the norm, right? They also have email lists. They also mail their email lists. They They sell their paintings through that, which is all the type of formulas that I'm teaching everyday people so that it becomes easier. But I had this vision that, you know, these entrepreneurs, these artists, these creative people, they climb the mountain, and then by the time they get to the top of the mountain, they're so freaking exhausted. They're like, you're telling me to jump now? Like, are you kidding me? And you have to have the faith to jump so you can soar. And so I thought, if I can show people in this workshop, so really think of it like a $2,000 workshop, but it's free for you. So it's not, we're not asking you to pay for a ticket even. But I'm doing it like a $2,000 workshop where you will actually work on whatever it is that you're working on to create a cash flow business with, whatever it is, so that you can impact more people and you can make more money, so that you can tweak the entrepreneurial thinking. And during the 3-day event, November 9th, 10th, and 11th in Los Angeles, it's right by at the Westin Hotel, right by the Los Angeles airport. And November 9th, 10th, and 11th, like day one, we're going to work on actually your vision, your plan, how to put it all together, and imagine working on it. Because a lot of times you come up with plans and you journal, I'm going to do this, and then it doesn't happen. In the 3 days, you're going to work on it. I'm going to help you work on your mindset. I'm going to help you step into faith. I'm going to help you get certain about what you're doing. I'm going to help you create materials that you can take on the road, either through building email lists and doing videos like this, or emails, or posting on social media, or speaking at events. Or if you're doing your own events, you can actually take what we're going to do and you can convert real income with it. So I think it's the best work I've ever done, without a doubt. Tons of our community will be there. People like Amber will be there who have had real success stories. And something Amber doesn't know yet, but we're actually evoking leadership inside of our community because we're doing so much hands-on work on your business at the event that we're actually asking many of our clients to come and help work as coaches at each of the tables so that you can actually walk out with something that's really going to truly make you money. So don't think of this as an investment, think of this, or even of time. It really is essential for you to work on your business instead of in your business. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. So this is what I want to tell my people too. My loves, is that even though I coach with Shanda, even though I've been with her for years, I still every year buy a ticket, fly hours away, leave my family, leave my kids for this 3-day public event because it's that transformational, like makes so much of a difference. And when we were talking and, you know, we were talking about, I'm like, you know, I would really love for my people to have like this opportunity to like take whatever ideas you have and to start, you know, let go of that mindset about money, start looking at like how to make a difference and do that with your creativity. And I know that you can do it there. So Shanda's given me only a handful of tickets, and here's what you got to do. They are only available until Friday. So below this video, you're going to see a link. Click on that, and that's going to take you over to the information page on the event. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead, you put down a deposit so we know that you're going to come.
Let me share this piece. So
yeah.
So the event is called the Zone event. It's about getting in the zone, right? So you already know what we're going to do there. And if you don't understand what we're going to do, just have the faith to come because you'll make money off the back end of it. And you'll make a bigger difference in the world. But the Zone event, we've given Amber some client tickets so that you can be her guest at the event. And she's a huge contribution to our community. And so, you know, doing this together is awesome. And so it's only available till Friday because of the fact that truthfully, you're not even buying a ticket. You're just putting down a hold fee. So it's $197. When you check into the event, you'll get an envelope back with a check from me for $197. So you can go right back and cash it. I promise you it won't bounce. So you will get it right back. And the reason why I do that is because, and I decided to do that, is because I have to order training material and my event company really requires income in the door to hold seats for the event. So there'll be about 450, 500 people there. It will actually still feel very intimate. My clients will be there as well. We'll be doing a lot of training, a lot of fun, a lot of dancing, a lot of connecting. There's an exercise, I'll give you a little hint. There's an exercise we're doing, a connection wall. Nobody knows this yet. We're going to connect all, where we have got a really unique way that we're going to connect everybody in the event. So if there's something that you're looking for that would really make a big difference, and think about that for a second right now. Like, if there was one thing I could help you with right now that would make a huge difference, what would that be? And now imagine there's a process that I could connect you with someone that would either volunteer their time or connect you with, or you could hire if that was the case, or could just simply solve that for you at the event. That's what's possible. So not only am I going to teach you how to make insanely amazing, clean, pure money at this event by you servicing, and I'll teach you how to sell in a way that's really authentic, but we're actually going to connect you with, there's so much more abundance in the room than even just what I'm actually teaching from the stage. So if that doesn't convince you that you need to move whatever you need to move out of the way, because if you really want this, you will find a way. The human spirit can overcome absolutely any obstacle if you really believe that this would work for you. And I will tell you that I have case study after case study after case study of creative people, entrepreneurs who love to travel the world and absolutely don't want to live anywhere, total nomads that are using the system. I have artists using the system, authors using the system, coaches using the system, people with retail using the system. I have wives that are retiring their husbands using this system and they never worked before. You know, this is a system that will allow you to be the best mom that you possibly ever could be and provide the lifestyle for your family that you truly want. So instead of waiting for it to fall out of the sky, you're going to have to handle whatever challenges you need to handle to get there, and then put a ticket fee down of $197 on clients on Amber's client ticket, and then we'll refund that back to you at the event on November 9th, 10th, and 11th.
That's awesome. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see you. And I actually have, for you, if you decide to come, I'm going to, at the event, do a receiving ritual. So we just talked about money and about that icky feeling that sometimes happens, and that we really actually have to receive. We have to open ourselves to receive in order to give, yeah? And so I'm going to do a ritual during that time. So those 3 days are going to be way more powerful for you. So you're really open and ready for what's to come. So that's for you. So don't overcomplicate this. Don't think too much about this. If spirit is prompting you, like, go girls, go.
Yeah. Seriously, go. I spent a lot of years meditating and praying and not realizing that I was the block, that I didn't know I was the block. So let us help you. All right.
Let us help you. Big love. Thank you so much, Shanda. I'll see you soon. And I can't wait to see some of you in Los Angeles. Bye now. Oh.
He's so cute. Do you see me?